Throughout Hell's Kitchen history, there have been a number of absolute dominant winners, but while there have been other winners who have had overall better runs than this chef, I don't think there's ever been a more obvious winner than Season 21 Battle of the Ages winner Alex Belew, when you combine skills, the edit, and the overall storyline of the season. And so today, I figured we'd take a look back at Alex's Hell's Kitchen run and point out everything that not only makes him such an amazing and dominant winner, but such an obvious one as well. Be sure to hit the subscribe and like button to support these story videos, and with that, here is a story of Alex Belew.
Bloody hell, here I go again.
The premiere for most Hell's Kitchen winners have been notoriously quiet in the past, and while Alex wasn't exactly a main character or anything here, his intro to Hell's Kitchen fans not only provided us with his reason for being here, but instantly made him a rootable fan favorite.
And I opened my own restaurant in 2018.
And what happened?
COVID.
Right.
Brutal. Words can't.
Well, you're here now.
I am.
Yeah, considering this season was the first season to be shot after COVID, to have the chef that was most directly affected by it, at least when it comes to cooking, seems like a pretty dead giveaway that Alex is in it for the long run. Because why would the editors include this emotional moment for someone who doesn't add much to the season? Nothing really much else of note happened this premiere for Alex, other than him not being able to sleep due to Billy, foreshadowing of the conflicts these two would have down the line. Episode 2 though will begin with a chicken wing challenge, with the best dish from each team earning the punishment pass. Also, it's now time to mention that this season's theme is the 20-somethings versus the 40-somethings, with the 40-year-old Alex obviously being on the 40-something blue team. Not only will this be a major storyline going forward for Alex, but keep in mind we had never had a 40 or older winner in Hell's Kitchen up until this point, so the odds are already against Alex and the 40-somethings. However, Alex would prove his worth once more after a great signature dish, with Susev J picking his dish as one of the top 3 dishes within the blue team, and Ramsey would ultimately pick his dish as the best, giving him the punishment pass. However, right after that, Alex had to make a massive decision, as instead of Susev J also picking out the worst 2 dishes, that was up to Alex, with the person who produced the worst overall dish possibly going home. So right away, Alex has to make a massive decision that could essentially cost someone their dream. Luckily, his choices were pretty easy in Billy and O'Shea, but neither of them would go home, and nobody would go home for that matter. But nonetheless, with his dominant start on the 40-somethings and his background, Alex is already not just a frontrunner on the 40-somethings, but the competition in general. And we haven't even gotten into service yet. But speaking of, the first service would be a sign of things to come this season, as the 20-somethings dominated the pathetic 40-somethings. And while Alex had nothing to do with all the problems, the blue team would get kicked out, and immediately lose 2 chefs as well instead of 1, after Charlene's elimination and Zeus essentially quitting. So yeah, not a good start for the blue team here, and again, episode 3 wouldn't be much better, as they would lose the challenge and get kicked out once again during service. However, the main storyline for Alex this episode would be his mini rivalry with Billy, with the editors once again trying to get the fans on Alex's side, having him be in conflict against the funny, but albeit loudmouth Billy.
Feel better though, honestly?
No. I want to be gone.
Still alive, baby.
Billy's fired up, but being that aggressive toward your team is just not, you're not sealing the deal.
Oh, I'm fucking ready.
Look, breathe, don't yell.
No.
Don't be louder than shit.
I'm not gonna.
Maybe temper the cussing. I am a little bit worried about Billy.
It's my fucking time to shine.
Well, you've met Billy. There was some unorganization on the garnish station. You were a little all over the place.
You don't have to call me out every fucking night. You
I'm
know?
just trying to give critical
I'm just trying
feedback.
to let you know.
Dude.
But I appreciate, letting me know that I was all over the place. Thank you.
I'm not trying to be mean, man.
After being 3 chefs down already and getting absolutely obliterated by the red team, Chef Ramsey would end episode 3 by switching the teams back to men versus women. And while it's absolutely hilarious that this season's theme lasted all but 2 services, this is the best case scenario for Alex, as he likely would have never won anything on the 40-somethings. And things got off to a tremendous start, as not only would the blue team win both the challenge and dinner service, but Alex really bonded with his fellow men, and had a great night on meat, which helped lead the blue team to victory. Episode 5 though wouldn't be as successful for the men's team or Alex in general, as in an inverse, they would lose both the challenge and dinner service, despite immediately being a good all-round service. But more importantly, not only was the Billy and Alex conflict still going on, but AB would get in on the action as well.
I do feel like sometimes you feel like I'm telling you what to do and I'm not.
It goes back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
If you tell me something in the kitchen, I take everything under consideration. I don't think I have an ego in the kitchen at all.
You know, Alex, he said he doesn't have an ego, but he does have his ego, because he does think he's better than me and smarter than me. I don't give a shit.
After nobody went home though, episode 6 would start off with AB and Billy actually forming an alliance together to go against Alex. But in a bit of karma, this alliance would go absolutely nowhere.
Walking scallops, walking scallops.
It's fucking ice cold. Come here, you two. Touch them. Just touch them in the middle. It's fucking ice cold. Come on, guy. Come on, man. Teamwork.
I'll cook the scallops.
He's like, no, you never worked fish yet. Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? I've worked fish my whole life.
Scallops walking to the window.
Now they're fucking cremated, huh? Now they've gone the other way. That's 2 caramelized now. Let's go, 2 more portions. Hey, blue team.
Yes, chef.
Just touch that. It's raw, young man. This is your dish.
Sorry, chef.
They chose your dish. The person leaving Hell's Kitchen is Billy. Tonight's performance did not give me confidence that you're ready to be my head chef.
I appreciate the opportunity, chef.
Good night.
So yeah, not only have 2 of the more unlikable chefs this season who have been against Alex get massive karma, as their alliance would immediately fall apart within this episode after the 2 struggled and Billy's elimination, but the 20 versus 40 somethings narrative I mentioned earlier was also still being a massive storyline despite the team swap, as after Billy's elimination, Alyssa would also go home, being the first 20-something to go home, meaning that it took 5 40-somethings to go home before we got a 20-something elimination. So again, between Alex's 40-something storyline and even being outcasted despite his talent, this dominant chef is not only rootable for the audience, but has a massive storyline in his favor as well. Alex's story would intensify even more the next couple of episodes, as we would get some massive foreshadowing at the reward challenge, where he would go one-on-one with Daphne and beat her, with Daphne even admitting that Alex was massive competition. I should also note that while I called AB a villain, he wasn't really that bad up until this episode, when he got into a massive fight with Summer over her attitude. And while yeah, you could argue the editors would have shown this either way, again, considering that AB had gone against Alex along with Billy, this made AB even more hated by the audience, and thus making Alex more rootable in the process. And then, despite making essentially no mistakes this service, Mindy would be the one to go home, meaning that it was now 8 20-somethings against 3 40-somethings, with one of those 40-somethings being against Alex. And then in episode 8, the other remaining 40-something would turn against him as well.
Now, Alex, you have the punishment pass. What are you thinking?
I'm gonna throw some strikes. Sorry, guys.
Who are you trading places with and why?
I'm gonna give my punishment to Tara. I feel like that's something that she would be really good at.
Wow.
She's a mom, so she's like used to doing that kind of stuff.
Oh my God. Alex, seriously, this is for you. Go fuck yourself. That's how I feel.
I'm gonna go talk to her. Oh man, I feel bad. Are you okay?
Go fuck yourself.
Seriously, Alex used his punishment pass for freaking bowling, and all Tara could do was flip him off. I mean, I'm all for bowling, but out of all the notoriously great Hell's Kitchen rewards, bowling isn't exactly something I would cry missing out on. Anyway, instead of service, Alex would have to compete in the Cook for Your Life challenge, as he chose to sit his dish out in the reward challenge. A very odd way to go about picking the contestants, as for example, Summer was literally automatically saved since she didn't compete with anyone on her team. But hey, everything's gotta be against Alex it seems this season. And then in one of his more signature moments of the season in my opinion, it was an all or nothing dish that Alex had to nail in order to remain safe. And he nailed it and then some.
Chicken's crisp. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alex, say goodbye to Vlad and Liana. Head back to the dorm.
I mean, that was one of the top 1 most stressful moments of my life.
Again, after what happened to Anthony in season 23, and talking to Alex over video just how close his chicken came to being undercooked, this just goes to show that he is an all-around great chef. As say what you will about elimination challenges, but they are a part of New School Hell's Kitchen, and Alex has flourished in both of them so far. Episode 9 though would be one of his worst, if not the worst episode of the season cooking-wise for Alex, although even then it wasn't much of anything, as after the red team unanimously picked him to join their team, but Ramsay chose Brett instead, he would try to go outside the box during the challenge, but would forget the Beurre Blanc, which would cost the blue team the challenge 3-2, with the men being on quite the losing streak after winning their first challenge. He would then get off to a slow start during service, as he set up cold crab cakes, but recovered quickly, and wasn't even really considered much for elimination, with Vlad in the end being the one to go home. But yeah, we're officially now halfway through the season, and it's taken this long for Alex to mess up in both the challenge and dinner service. And even then, they were pretty mild mistakes. But after this somewhat bad episode, not to mention all the conflicts he had been going through, episode 10 would be a nice cooldown episode for Alex, as he would respond well at the taco challenge by getting a point, and was essentially the best of the worst in the blue kitchen that night, as the blue team had their best service of the season despite their losing efforts. But in a catch-22, AB, who created the rivalry between him and Alex had slowed down, was eliminated, which while I'm sure Alex wasn't exactly sad to see him go, this now meant it was now 6 20-somethings versus 2 40-somethings, with the other 40-something acting like a complete lunatic. Thus, it was all up to Alex to represent the 40-somethings, which to be fair, was pretty obvious from the start. Episode 11 will be a massive episode for all the chefs here, not just Alex, as it was the blind taste test for the challenge and charity night for the service, both massively important in the eyes of Ramsay. And a bad episode overall here could send Alex from favorite to win to out of the competition. And safe to say, things did not get off to a very good start.
Let's get out the gate strong.
Turkey?
Pistachio. Choo-choo.
Polenta?
Oh my God. Wrong.
Moron.
Asparagus. Easy.
We are not losing today. Peace.
He's got this one.
Any type of cabbage. Come on, gotta get one.
Come on, Alex.
Squash?
Wrong.
So yeah, in the 20 years of Hell's Kitchen, no winner had ever scored a 0 out of 4 on the blind taste test and gone on to win the competition, which makes sense, as a good palate is a must for a chef in the eyes of Ramsay. But again, Alex would have a chance to make up for it right away as a leader during service, with Ramsay even putting him on the tough meat course, making this a very important and critical bounce back moment for Alex.
Come on, blue team. Where's the filet gone now?
They need a second in the oven.
Do not overcook them, Brett.
I'm getting them out.
I am a little bit worried about Brett. His lack of communication. It's getting real old. Brett, can we sell?
I don't know, it's like...
Yeah, those are good.
Come on, blue team.
Truffle, wipe the plates.
Very nice, Alex.
So yeah, while he actually wouldn't win the best of the worst, that would be Sakari, a very good showing for Alex as a leader here, and again, more than made up for a 0 out of 4 performance. In the end, Brett, who essentially cost Alex winning the best of the worst due to his performance on his course, would get eliminated, which brings us to the final 7, aka the Black Jacket Lounge Challenge. Unlike the Cook for Your Life, Alex would get 3 chances here to earn a black jacket, but at the same time, there is no obvious weak link like Ileana to protect him if he was anything less than perfect. And we saw that right away in the first dish, as a small mistake kept him from earning a black jacket, as Summer and Daphne would earn them instead. But during the second round, after all the fight and determination, Alex's goal of earning a black jacket would come true.
The next chef earning their black jacket is Alex. Congratulations, young man. Turbot was absolutely cooked to perfection.
Getting a black jacket validates everything that you've done. All the drive, the dedication, the passion. It just solidifies the fact that I'm supposed to be here.
And not only would Alex earn a black jacket, but to make things even better, his enemy Tara would go home along with Sakari, who had literally won up to Alex the previous episode, meaning that Alex would be the only 40-something to earn a black jacket. Seriously, man, reality TV can be amazing at times when it comes to storytelling, I'll tell you what. So yeah, that brings us officially now into the black jacket portion of the competition. And this is no time for Alex to slow down, as he's come this far already, with him once again talking about how COVID shut down his restaurant to begin the final 5. We would also see more foreshadowing of Alex getting the best of Daphne, as he would dethrone her in the King of the Hill challenge, but in the end, Cheyenne would be the one to win the challenge. But then again, in retrospect, it's probably a good thing Alex would lose his 9th straight challenge.
Help! Oh shit!
While Cheyenne admitted that this wasn't the sole reason for her awful black jacket performance, the person who had been arguably the most dominant next to Alex all season would completely crash and burn, making mistake after mistake. But unfortunately for Alex, his undercooked steak would be one of the final straws that got the team kicked out, meaning that unfortunately Alex's name was right there when it comes to one of the worst black jacket services ever. In the end though, Alex would avoid nomination as Daphne and Cheyenne would go up, with the latter going home. And while it stinks to see this happen to Cheyenne, again, she was without question Alex's biggest competition, as the other 3 20-somethings hadn't been nearly as consistent as her. But then again, being consistent during services doesn't really matter at this point in the endgame, as now it's all about being a good leader. And after Alex actually got off to a slow start on appetizers, he would be the 3rd chef to lead the pass, with a spot in the final 3 at stake.
These are too loose. That's too loose, and there's fava beans in there instead of peas.
Well spotted. Well spotted.
Chef Ramsay is bringing up Alex's next test.
Let's go. Plate the scallops.
Those are obliterated. Hell fucking no.
It's halibut. Well spotted. Concentrate. Yes,
chef.
you missed nothing.
Here we go. 2 salmon, 2 strip, 2 Wellington, 1 lamb.
Yes, chef.
She's gonna drop them.
Yes.
You're about 2 minutes out.
Yes, drop scallops, okay?
Good.
And slice the lamb and finish the welly. Let's go. And stop 2 seconds. Look at that lamb.
It's a little under.
No, it's not lamb.
It's not lamb. Holy shit. I knew it was wrong. I knew it was wrong.
Good job.
Thanks, chef.
Let's go.
I felt at home at the pass.
So once again, another very good leadership performance from Alex, with him only missing 1 sabotage, and this would have been enough to get him into the final 2, much less the final 3, as he would be the 2nd chef to earn a spot in the finale, with Summer in the end being the one to go home. And so that would bring us into the ever so scary final 3 challenge, the 4th elimination challenge Alex would have to endure this season, and of course a challenge notoriously known for taking out some past favorites to win. And despite producing 4 great dishes, Alex would have to earn a perfect score in the eyes of Curtis Stone to earn a spot into the final 2. Can he pull it off?
Alex, you took a real risk because you cooked faro, you served it separate to the beef. There's a chance the beef could eat dry. To get that right, you just had to do it all perfectly. And you did. You get a 10.
Seriously, Alex competed in 4 elimination challenges this season and flourished in each one, with him saving arguably his best dish of the entire competition for the very end, earning a perfect score, and better yet, taking out Alejandro, who was much more of a threat than Daphne. But yeah, as we saw throughout the season, the Daphne versus Alex final 2 had been foreshadowed a couple of times, with Alex usually getting the best of her. However, none of the past matters now, as Alex has to lock it down one last time in this final dinner service, as a good performance here will make everything, from his restaurant shutting down to all he had to go through in Hell's Kitchen, worth it in the end.
Hey, Brett, come here.
Brett. Brett.
Don't lose over hush puppies.
Fucking
Brett.
hell.
Fritters are undercooked. Drop 3 more.
Yep, I've got you.
I feel like I'm being assertive and I'm asking where is the food? Come on, guys.
We left 2 tables waiting for it.
Good cook, Brett. Sell it. 25 minutes on that, so we got to push, okay?
Yes, chef.
Yeah, let's go.
Thank you. Please push. Brett, chicken's undercooked.
It's raw, okay? And we're getting backed up now, okay?
Hey, chef.
Brett's chicken refire isn't the only thing slowing down Alex.
One's cooked beautifully, other one's raw.
Cheyenne, pick this up. Needs to be mid-rare.
Yes, chef.
Cheyenne, how long?
90 seconds.
90 seconds. I'm not really an aggressive person by nature, but people don't always respond well to that. My goal is to lead them by encouraging them and pushing them. Thank you. Much better. Keep that going. Much better.
Go, please.
Are you happy with everything?
Yes.
Yes. Perfect.
Alex is a great chef and he's an even better person. You know, he played to all of our strengths. So Alex is going to be the winner.
So I mean, it's been essentially obvious from day one, but after a damn good showing one last time during the finale dinner service, Alex would go from having to shut down his restaurant 2 days before filming to becoming Hell's Kitchen's first ever 40+ winner and solidifying himself as an all-time great.
3.
I just won Hell's Kitchen. This journey has been wild. I mean, ups, downs, to see it come to fruition, it's unreal.
So again, what a run for Alex, as this season was essentially centered around him, and for good reason. He literally came into the season with all the pressure in the world on him due to having to sell his restaurant 2 days before filming, and had the burden of being a 40-something chef competing against 20-somethings, already putting him at a disadvantage. And this mismatch on paper was indeed a mismatch on the show, as the 40-somethings were completely outmatched by the 20-somethings all season, making Alex's narrative all that much better. Not only that, but a good portion of the 40-somethings were against him, such as Billy, AB, and Tara, with the latter two being the last two 40-somethings left standing in the end. Despite this though, he dominated all season during services, making 3 or so total mistakes all season, and was an incredible leader. But if that wasn't enough, Alex is still the only winner to ever compete in 4 elimination challenges. Heck, most Hell's Kitchen winners didn't compete in 1 challenge, much less 4, but Alex came up clutch in all of them, proving he is truly the full package. So between Alex's storyline, his awesome character, him having to deal with all those punishment losses and chefs being against him, the entire season essentially revolving around him, and of course him just being a damn good chef all the way around, not even the likes of Dave or Megan were as obvious as Alex when it comes to winning Hell's Kitchen, and Alex will likely always remain Hell's Kitchen's most obvious winner, not to mention a damn great winner as well. So there you have it guys, the full story of Alex Belew. Let me know what you think of Alex in the comments below, and be sure to hit that subscribe and like button, and I'll get you more story videos just like this. With all that said, take care everyone, and I'll see you next time.
Get out of there.